You were doing this thing where you were cuddling into me, and I'm like, dear God, like I must have done something so good in my life to be able to enjoy something like this. And then like I think it was what we were like 30 minutes in, and then I was like, I started sniffling, and I was like, uh-oh, she's got cat fur on her, doesn't she? And I was like, oh, and then I was like, no, I'll be fine. No, I'm chilling. And then like another 15 minutes passed, and I was like, uh-oh.
Well, you should have told me.
Well, okay. I didn't know anybody brought allergy medication. Like nobody told. I never knew.
If you would have asked me and be like, "Hey, Tricky,
well,
I think you might have some kitty hair on your."
I don't get physical affection often. Okay, this in my brain. I was like, oh my God, I'm winning. I'm fucking winning right now. These kinds of opportunities don't present themselves often, so what am I? You really think I'm gonna just get up? Like, that's just crazy. That's fucking insane, Tricky. You need to understand from my POV that I didn't know. And I was like, this is the only chance I'm gonna get, y'all. I gotta make the most of it. But then we readjusted, and then you were even more cuddled into me, and I was like, oh, nah, dude, it's fucking over. I'm gonna die like this, and this, that's okay. That's okay.
I was squishing your arm. I was squishing your arm, so I switched.
No, it felt so good. It felt so.
I'm glad it felt. But like we switched, so I wasn't squishing your arm, and then like that's whenever I got. And
it was even better. It was even better, and I was like, God, why am I being punished right now? Like, why do I have to have, like, this is like so hard for me to come by. Like, this never fucking happens to me. God, why are you doing this? And then the sniffles started getting worse, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. It was like I had a timer above my head, and they were all like, Numi, you're only allowed this much happiness, and I was like, okay, maybe just 10 more minutes, and then it started getting even worse.
You didn't get up until the show was over.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the problem, Numi. So I didn't know. I didn't think there was anything wrong until we were at the bowling alley, and Bao was like, "Hey, Tricky, I think your jacket might have cat hair." I'm like,
it was Bao. Oh my God, it was fucking Bao. That fucking bitch. Because I wasn't gonna say anything because I didn't want you to feel bad, and I was like, it was fine. But then when we were bowling, I was like, okay, the allergies were in full swing at this point, and so then I had to go outside for like 20 minutes to sneeze like 40 times in a row, the usual. And then Suko came out to check on me, and I was like, okay, it's just Suko, it's not Tricky. Tricky doesn't know. And then like we sleep, and then I woke up and I opened the door, and the first fucking person I see is you, and you're like, you don't even say good morning. You're just like, why didn't you tell me? And I was like, oh,
oh yeah, you looked straight at the wall. As soon as I was like, no, why didn't you tell me that my cat was fucking you a little bit? And you looked at the wall immediately, and you were walking, and you're like, oh.
Well, because I know you'd feel bad. Because then after that, I felt like you weren't giving me cuddles after that, and then I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna bash my head against the wall because you were conscious because you didn't want me to have an allergic reaction, and I was like, I would have lived through 3 days of suffering just to have one more cuddle session. God fucking damn.
Oh, I was being a little bit more.
Yeah, you were being away like whoever fucking told Tricky needs to rot, and now I'm gonna get that bowling pin and make Bao's dent even bigger. That fucking Babbleberry bitch.
I had extra strength Zyrtec.
Yeah, I took it, and they were hugging me, so I had to go up to you again. Have you ever seen that episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob needed water? That's what it felt like, because I wasn't getting any attention from you by the third day.
If you would have been
I crawled over to Tricky, and I was like, please. And then I didn't even get to hug you goodbye. So,
I thought that you did that because of your allergies.
No, it's all Bao's fault. That bitch. Now that I know who the culprit is, she better sleep with one fucking eye open. Oh, she cock-blocked me so bad.
No, it's not like that. No.
I can't believe this. Nobody will ever understand the way I crawled over to Tricky. She probably just looked, and it looked like I just walked over to her kind of sad and pouty, but no. From my POV, I was dragging myself over with one little ounce of strength that I had left to beg for just any spare coochie, any spare hug. I was like, please.
If I seemed like I was dismissive, I was really tired.
No, you weren't dismissive. It was just me begging for attention.
A crumb of coochie crunchy, please? A clungy onesie, please? Just
Yes,
taste.
I just needed the clungy ones. Yeah, I was so deprived. I thought I would have so much tricky cuddle time.
You would have
It's all
got
about
more
fault.
if you would have just.
I didn't mean to do that. I don't. This is not how I feel towards her right now. This is the exact opposite of what I want to do with that puta. I swear to God, I was gonna put the dead emo, but I don't know where it went.
No.
Spare Gucci. Spare Gucci.